Let's talk to David Paul. He's the Managing Director of VectorVest UK. Very good morning to you, young David.
Good
I know
morning,
you're jet lagged, so I'll try and keep you awake. Boom, boom. Right, we've got a number of slides, all thought-provoking as always. The headline here, the single most important thing to know is whether the market is going up or down. Everything follows from that. Very, very wise.
Isn't it? Yes. It's a great quote from the founder of VectorVest, Bart DeLido. The market is moving up. Our short-term measure of the London market is up, and the longer-term measure turned up a few days ago. So both short-term trend and long-term trend are moving up the page, and I've got 4 shares that I think are going to move up the page with it for us. Some of the other ones that I talked about here previously have done quite well. Griffin Mining has shown everybody a clean pair of heels. It's done exceptionally. It's trebled since I first talked about it on here. So,
okay, well, let's go through the detail. Let's kick off with the all-share index.
Well, this is our composite, yes, an equally weighted index of all of the shares on the London market, and it pulled back. It's been flattish to down since the middle of last year, and over the last few days it's had a very strong move in the upside. I think probably a bit of that is to do with the fall in the pound over the last few days. Pound down off 400 ticks since the high, and I'm sure your forex analysts have noted that Fibonacci level that it's come off now a couple of times on the weekly chart, which looks very strong indeed. So Mrs. May got a little bit of trouble on the Brexit front.
Right. So just to clarify, short term and the longer term are both on a buy signal now.
That's correct, yes. So it's time to become fully invested. I'm personally not quite fully invested as yet because I've been travelling since the last buy signal. Right. So I've got a little bit of work to do today to catch up. Okay, well, let's go through a few stocks. Let's kick off with the first one. PSN's the mnemonic, Persimmon. Again, that doesn't look a great chart. Is that about to turn? Well, I think it's pushing up the page. It's the green line above the price is our valuation, and the blue line study and the window below the price is earnings per share growing strongly. It's pulled back sideways in what technicians refer to as a flag pattern, and it would seem to have broken out of that flag pattern over the last day or two. The flag pattern's got 5 waves in it, and it's breaking up on the 4th attempt. So I'm quite hopeful for the share. It's cheap, pays a cracking dividend, and it's undervalued in our system. So it's one of my favourite shares at the moment. Yeah.
Understood. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, VCP, Victoria PLC. Textiles?
Well, yes, this is the largest manufacturer of carpets in the UK and Australia, growing strongly in the US. It's had a great run. It's been personally my best share over the last couple of years. It pulled back with the market, pulled back to support, and was strongly accumulated at support pretty much to the tick, moving up the page again on a buy recommendation. So I think that that's going higher. I actually, on the pullback, I personally got out of it, and one of my jobs today is to find an elegant entry to get back into the share again.
Understood. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Fort, F-O-R-T, which is building cement.
Well, yes, they're a large established manufacturer of bricks, blocks, and construction material. Got a commanding position in that particular industry. 20% of it is owned by Neil Woodford. Whether that's good or bad in this day and age, I don't know. But Investec owns 7 or 8% of it. It's institutionally very well supported. Again, it's significantly undervalued by our measure. Earnings per share is growing strongly. They're in a very strong cash position, and it would seem to have broken up the page. So I like the look of that.
I actually really like that chart in terms that there's consistency within the trends. You know, a series of high highs, higher lows. So that technically looks good, and if the fundamentals look good,
yeah, it looks to me as if it's breaking up strongly. It's gone sideways with the market over the last, 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Within that sideways shuffle, the earnings per share is rising, and it's on a buy recommendation in VectorVest. My objective is to buy undervalued shares that are growing their earnings strongly as they're breaking up the page with the market. So I'm following my rules. We don't know what's going to happen on a trade-by-trade basis, but I'm following my rules. That's all I've got.
Yeah. We like rules. Okay, so let's move to Sarika Energy, petroleum drilling.
Well, yes, I've been calling the oil price much higher over the last 6 to 9 months. All the webcasts I've done for VectorVest, I'm saying that oil price, I think, is moving towards the 80 level.
Right.
Oil stocks lagging behind it, and this is a small oil stock that was revalued by VectorVest about 6 months ago. As you can see, the big push up in earnings, which precipitated that revaluation. Now, since that has gone sideways again in one of those flag patterns, it would seem to have broken out of that flag pattern and pushing through a 52-week high. They're active in the North Sea. There was an announcement a few days ago. They're active in Ireland. They're active in Namibia. And I think that there's another strong leg up now. Serica, on our proprietary master indicator called VST, Value, Safety and Trend, where we put together those shares with the best combination of valuation, safety of earnings and trend. It's number 2 in our particular list.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, just going back, you said it made a 52-week high. Okay, people, including me historically, have found it very, very difficult to buy 52-week highs. What advice would you give to people on that?
Well, some people will simply buy the breakout if the fundamentals are good. I think, first of all, the fundamentals need to be good before you would consider buying a 52-week high. If you find that a little difficult, then invariably, when it breaks, it'll come back and kiss the 52-week high. So that might be a more elegant entry for maybe a more sophisticated investor like yourself.
So basically, the fundamentals are telling you what to buy and the technicals are telling you when to buy it. And if you're not comfortable buying the new high, basically look for a pull back to the 52-week.
That's right, yeah, okay. A break and a kiss, that's called at the institutional level. I think that if the share is undervalued, growing earnings at a good clip, then there's a much higher probability that the breakout is going to be a success. Certainly, institutional people are taught, don't chase the market, don't buy the breakout, wait for it to pull back. But unfortunately, the best ones never pull back, they just keep on going.
Yep.
So, but nevertheless, yeah, a break and a kiss would be a good place to finesse an elegant entry into the marketplace.
Understood. Okay, well, let's wrap up your final slide. Anyone watching this, they can get in touch with you direct?
Yeah, sure, david.paul@vectorvest.com or vectorvest.co.uk. Anybody up in the Midlands, I'm doing a seminar in Birmingham at the close to the NEC this Saturday afternoon. So anybody in the Midlands, if you go to vectorvest.co.uk, it's a free seminar, but great to see you.
Okay, well, I'm off to Crystal Palace, so David, as always, nice to see you.
Cheers, Moss. Thank you.